guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Andor Season 2. We are now on to Episode 2, which is called Sagrona Tima. There we go. So the first episode was just to establish where things are a year after what we saw in Season 1. Cassian was in the middle of a mission and he ended up at the meeting point and he discovered that his contact has been taken out by a group that was also kind of abandoned there as well. And so, yeah, we ended the episode with him running after the two, that group kind of got into an internal conflict. And then we see on the other side of things, the more political side of things. Oh gosh, her name just slipped right out of my head, but her daughter is getting married, one of the higher ups there from Coruscant. Her daughter's getting married and it's a huge affair and a lot of the higher ups are there, including the leader of the rebellion, and he is freaking out because he's not heard from Cassian or the contacts that were supposed to complete that task yet. And is that pretty much it? I think those were the main things that we were looking at from last episode. Also, we had Bix as well, who is clearly suffering from PTSD from her torture. But there's actually people from the Empire that have showed up on what looks like kind of a outer rim farming planet that she's on right now. And now they're kind of panicking because they're like, if they do come and start to check IDs, they'll figure out pretty quickly that her and the other dude that's there, that they're not supposed to be there. So a few things happening in 3 different areas of the galaxy right now. But yeah, ready to jump into this episode. So let's do that. Just before I do though, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know of when I drop episodes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you'd like to see an uncut version of this reaction, you can check that out on my Patreon right now. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now.
What is she doing? She's got to be close.
Smart. So this is what survived the conflict, I'm guessing? Well, that's not helpful. Where's the rest? Shooting in the dark for what? Sis, why would you scream in the dark like that and tell them where you were? Okay, so we've got our camps.
It's not gonna rain forever. You might want to bank some water.
Right?
There's a tarp over there.
Thank God someone's thinking. Honestly, you're too nice. Actually, no, not really. He needs someone to get him unlocked. Because I'm like, if I were him, I'd just wait. Because they're eventually either going to die. Actually, they're probably going to lose it and kill him if they start going crazy from dehydration.
Did Krennic offer you the job?
You know that he did.
Then it's done. We're in it.
Yeah,
What about access?
wasn't asking.
It's almost 2 years. You built the legend and delivered almost nothing.
We're
Ooh.
getting closer all the time.
He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. He's nowhere. Catch them first,
Ooh.
then make them famous.
He's not wrong. Sucks, but that's the way it works in any corporate environment. You got to make sure that you sell yourself well.
Gorman will be yours to run as you wish. You'll only answer to Krennic, and he's got no time for anything but results.
That's a lot of pressure. But also, it's his side.
Gorman is a gift.
It's really not. But it is actually going to lead her to Cassian. So,
We sit all day.
this is the gift.
We'll move it.
Looks
then
like
you
it's a statue.
reconsider, Clean it up, and we'll make it lovely and gently there.
Temporary reception outage for Imperial inspection.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of inspection.
Wouldn't that be nice to know?
Right? They're not going to put that information out there.
He's my boyfriend.
Ooh.
What have you done? Thrown him over?
I don't know who we're talking about.
Take Homer, is he not your lover?
Ooh.
His wife has run off, so the field is clear. He's all yours now.
Stop.
Okay, jealous.
Tay had a bit too much first night punch. Had to be taken home.
Didn't he?
4 valleys away, he should know better. Pace yourself or pay the price.
These double entendres and this passive aggressiveness. It's kind of gross, sir. But that's probably why your wife cheated on you. Not justifying it, just saying. It's not attractive.
They know we need help, and they know everyone isn't legal. How hard they look, what they do.
True.
It's been 10 years since the last audit.
Ooh, 10 years.
Talia thinks they'll let us slide.
We can't count on that.
What if they ask where we came from?
I wouldn't let
My point is, yeah, there should be a hiding plan.
Cassian.
Not yet.
He'll be here.
He's trying. Do they have a plan, though? I really do think they need a hide Bix plan. Because you know how it goes. It's always the best. Whenever, like, it's going to be fine is exactly when they're going to be like, let's go to that very far outpost there's really no reason for us to go to. Something just tells me I should be there.
That's all that's left?
You voted to eat.
And you should have told us no.
How many snack pods?
My homie's just like, I'm just gonna stay hydrated.
They've gone very quiet over there.
Glad someone's paying attention.
You need a perimeter.
I was just about to do that.
Sure you were.
They must be starving.
Are they? Are you sure they can eat that?
I don't know.
The texture of that does not look inviting. I can't do it.
Give it.
If it
I
tastes
can't even watch him eat it. That looks so gross. Exactly. They're like, ugh. Usually the smell of something is a pretty good indication of whether or not you should eat it. With the exception of durian. I mean, yeah, that's very much something you can still eat even though it doesn't smell great.
After months of searching, screens started lining up across the room.
This is when those people who work in insanely boring jobs try to make it sound like it's riveting.
There's a future here.
Okay.
For those who dare.
Thank you. Great speech. Can I go sit down now?
Once things calm down, we'll be okay.
You've just jinxed it.
Just promise you won't leave without saying goodbye.
That might be dangerous.
Promise.
You know, romances in Star Wars verse don't tend to do well, right? See, I told y'all jinxed it. We'll be fine. It's as bad as when you say it's going to be quiet at, a quiet day at the office. Inevitably, something's going to go south.
Hello, boys.
Boys, maybe you should say sirs, just in case.
You have to ask the lieutenant.
I haven't met him yet.
You will. He's checking out the storage.
Did they have a plan? Didn't I say to have a plan, a hiding plan?
We were based in the 600 block a few months ago.
I'm not sure they're worth the cost.
Wow.
I guess we'll know after this next harvest. It's a simple life, isn't it?
Yep, we love it. Bye.
I think over time they get curious.
I've been there.
Why are you still talking to me?
We had a decent meal there last night.
Bro, do you need a friend? Why are you talking to me?
I'm only here for another couple of days.
Yeah, I'm not interested, bro.
You'd like to join me?
No. No. Sorry. Say you're married.
I'm not sure my husband would approve.
Oh,
Where's your ring?
sorry to hear that.
Are you?
Does he worry about you?
Oh, God. I'm getting...
He's supposed to stop things sneaking away while we're doing all our counting.
I don't like his vibes at all. He's giving assaulty vibes.
Darla.
Thank God.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
What's your counsel?
Perverted creep.
Nice to meet you.
Be on your way, perv.
See you along the way.
God, hope not. Be sure not to trip and fall on your gun and just have that shoot you right in the face.
When was the last time this happened?
Wedding hike. Perrin and I. It rained.
Yeah, I remember.
Do we have to do this? Don't we have drones to take us up?
Cinta? No. If she wanted to see me, she would.
That's true.
Bad timing.
I'm sorry.
Or the fact that you're just in the wrong family, honestly. Yeah, no, I'm not about this at all. We're rich. Where are the drones? The hike can be, spiritual, figuratively. Like, just take my ass up. I'm not walking. Not with all them clothes. Uphill?
We'd be hearing about it. I don't know about that.
They could be messing with us.
Taking it to another level.
This is the worst crew ever. I'm sorry, they're so disorganized.
We should be getting worried. About what?
1, 2, 3.
Are they taking apart your ship?
The guns at the front, trying to put us down the barrel.
No.
Can they do that? They're trying.
They might. They're probably going to rip the wing first, though.
Another few centimeters. Hey, bit by bit.
That's a lot of bits.
Square up. Let's go.
Do you realize how long this would take?
I mean, they're wearing out their energy when they've got no food. Although I guess the melon didn't kill that guy, so maybe they can eat that.
If they're lucky, they'll make 5 meters by midnight.
He's like, I can do math. Y'all don't even know what you're shooting at. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. Cassian has been trapped here for what, 4 days now? No food? Because I don't think they're feeding him. Oh, her hair's down.
We could pretend that you're not back.
Does she seem the type to pretend anything?
We can't cancel again. We can't.
Told you, rule follower. This must have been a fun set to make. Give some people some Star Wars themed wedding ideas.
I've been looking for you.
Oh, I thought something happened to him the way the husband was talking. Luthen is so wound up right now. He's so tight, but some political intrigue to be had here. Some tea.
Last time we spoke, you told me you had new business coming in. You told me you were waiting.
I think I told you I was tired of waiting.
This is sounding serious.
It wasn't
I
then.
mean,
Might not be
he
now.
did try to tell you that yesterday.
Your financial blemishes have been smoothed over without anyone being the wiser.
That's a low-key threat.
Everyone seems quite pleased with how they've landed. And I'm left wondering about the risk I've taken on.
Mm-hmm. Nothing to say.
Something. The irony is, it's the rebellion that's hurt me most. Rebel activity soured my investments. You can see how I might feel
wronged,
undervalued.
Can't manage all these plates in the air, huh, sis? Oh, just give him a handy, so let's shut up, please.
Perhaps I thought it was obvious.
Oh, she doesn't care that much about you, bro. You just figured that out?
I hate having to sail this one.
Oh,
He doesn't.
let's celebrate.
Indeed.
Yep, she's planning something. Luthen's like, something is up. Opportunity knocks. But they're talking about the rebellion, so that definitely involves him.
We're doing everything we can.
Thank you.
I was gonna say Bix should hide, but the problem is that one soldier really likes her, or at least the look of her, so he's not gonna forget her. She can't just disappear now. Back at the shop. She made it back. Okay. Did we have to turn on all the lights in the shop, though? If you're trying to keep this low key, you should have left the shop quiet, you know? But
Perrin said he'd been carried home last night. His wife's left him.
Was there a number?
He said I'd get into it once we'd survived the wedding. He sees all this.
It's very troubling.
He's definitely unstable.
Is there any chance he'd go to Scaldon?
No, he wouldn't dare. He can't.
Ma'am, you're gonna have to handle this.
Can't leave this be. I must know that.
Yeah, this guy's firing some warning shots that if you don't do something quick, he's gonna do something desperate.
On Coruscant with Tay next week.
Next week might be too late. I feel like Luthen's gonna do something on his own. That man is screaming unstable. He is screaming, if you don't do something to placate me real quick, I'm gonna do something desperate. I also don't trust her husband, to be perfectly honest, but they're all shady, so.
Second. Pain.
Second's family kind of looks evil, just gonna say.
My Salom Saina, the elders know what I'm talking about, right? My hope.
Unimpressed.
Pleasure, gaiety, amusement, these are the hidden things. The music buried beneath all that noise.
Oh, she loves her papa.
But joy has no wind at its back. Joy will not announce its arrival. You need to listen for it and be mindful of how.
Yep, Luthen is watching that, man. This speech is actually good, though. Very good advice.
For me right now, it's a smile that I can't hide as I see these two young people sharing our greatest tradition.
That kid looks very, very angry. You sure this wedding's a good idea? Your daughter already said the boy won't even acknowledge her. This is... Anyway, this is what happens in these rich circles. I just hope he isn't too mean to her. How'd they know about the melons?
How's he know that?
They've been sneaking.
Bix, honey, I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know what you're gonna do. Because they're definitely coming back for you. That guy, I know, has not given up on her. He knows she's lying about having a husband.
Oi! Watch him, eyes open.
Well, he can't stand? How good of a pilot is he gonna be if he has no feeling in all of his limbs?
Rosky rules.
Rosky rules.
I don't know what that means.
Rosky rules.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Thank you. That nervousness does not put me at ease. Really? We're rock, paper, scissoring it? Damn, get away from these people! No, this is chaos! I was gonna say Cassian should try to run, but it's gonna be very hard to get out of there. Maybe you should have taped that guy's mouth. I guess he had nothing. Because he's gonna blab or scream. Surprised he hasn't already. What was that? Animals? Didn't they say there were animals at night? Or are they lying about that?
What was that?
I keep thinking it's thunder.
It's not.
That's what y'all bitches get. Because y'all so stupid. Why are you you standing up and screaming and making yourself a target, bro? Bro, you just need to find a corner and be quiet. That's all you need to do. They'll make enough noise to keep that thing busy. Oh, he did gag him good. You might have to use those things. That's what y'all get, though. That's what y'all get. Okay, thank God. Because that carnival of clowns is starting to get on my nerves, I'm not gonna lie. Now, if Cassian's a nice guy, he could send someone back for them. But since they're supposed to be part of a rebellion, it probably isn't a good idea for them. Whew, all right, guys. Well, that was episode 2. And, I don't know, first thing I'm kind of noticing, I'm not gonna lie, is the fact that the show is called Andor. And we spent very little time on Cassian this episode. And I mean, first episode a bit, but honestly, the majority of it was the political things that are happening with Luthen and, God, I'm going to remember her name one of these days, the other lady, and a little bit on Bix. There's been very little of actually Cassian. I'm not sure. I'm guessing that maybe just because they needed to plant some things or put some things down as far as groundwork, but there was very little of him this episode, really. Like... Truthfully, Diego's had like maybe 2 pages of dialogue for the last 2 episodes, which is very interesting. But anyway, this episode, there's not much to say about where Cassian was, right? Like, as I said, I'm kind of glad that he's off that planet. I feel like if they dragged that out for another episode, I was going to be like, okay, like, these guys are way too bumbly. They're never going to figure this out. They're either going to starve to death or start losing their minds because they're getting too hungry, whatever, and they're going to do some crazy stuff. Like, he needs to get out of there. Or, I mean, I don't think he could have taken anyone with him, unfortunately. Like, I don't think he wanted to have a situation where he's stranded them on this island, or on this planet, but that's really not his problem. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, like, you're clearly, whatever your initiative, your group, your militia, your rebellion, whatever you call it, whatever it is, it's highly disorganized, clearly. Like, no one in that group was suited at all to take leadership. They clearly had no idea how to prioritize survival. Like, yeah, this was very much a crew that was grabbed of people that were willing to work. That's it. So anyway, I'm glad that that's done with, because like I said, if we had to do one more episode of him dealing with these idiots, it would have been a bit frustrating. So I'm glad that he was able to find a good opportunity with them being far too distracted with this stuff to finally get off planet. And yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to them. It doesn't really matter. We weren't really given many names because, well, we were, but I don't think we were meant to care about them, but we'll see. The rest of it was really with Bixie on the farming planet and, of course, the wedding celebration. On the Bixie side of things, yeah, we see that the audit is still happening with the Empire, and apparently these don't happen very frequently. They said it was 10 years since the last one. So, yeah, like, we heard what that one guy said. Like, this is something that happens. They know it could happen. They hope it doesn't. And they're aware that the Empire is aware that not everybody there is there legally, but it's something that they kind of overlook because clearly there's a lot of wheat there, a lot of grain, and they need people to work it. So anyways, but they're saying, I guess it depends. It sounds like the Empire just uses their discretion, I guess one could say, as far as what they decide to enforce or not. Because yeah, again, if they know that there's people there that are not legal, it sounds like they don't always apprehend people. They don't always punish people. Like, it all depends on who you're dealing with, what they're dealing with. And my guess is that some of them are probably highly bribable as well. But either way, it's not a good time because Bixie in particular and the other dude, I keep forgetting the name of the guy who's got a girl on this planet. They're clearly the ones that they're wanted, right? Bixie's definitely wanted. She can't be captured. So, and not only just because, you know, she'd be arrested, but God knows what would happen to her, right? After what she went through, her trauma is still very fresh. I don't think she'd survive being captured again. So anyway, we see that they're doing their best. You know, like they said, they were hoping that they wouldn't even come out to their area because normally they said the inspections are not even standard. Sometimes they only go to one area and then they leave. Sometimes they go to 2 or 3, then they leave. But it looks like they're trying to be very thorough this time. And whether that's because of orders or because they're bored, we don't know. But either way, they did come all the way out to where they were. And we see that, you know, understandably, Bix is like, is there a plan? Is there a plan? Because, you know, what are we going to do? And of course, you know, I get it. Like that dude was like, just chill. Like, let's just be relaxed because they are watching. And like he said, I guess there was people who already tried to run and he's like, they just killed them. Like, they didn't even ask questions. So he's like, if you run, that will absolutely be the end of it, right? And if you try to run, that's going to raise suspicion. So you got to do your best to just act like you belong here and hope they don't press too hard for IDs and things like that. But understandably, Bix is like, I don't like it. Like, we need a plan. And I agree. Like, there should be some form of an escape plan, some form of a way to disappear, right? At this point, I don't think it's going to work, though, because Sergeant Pervo there hitting on her, like, I have no doubt he's going to remember her, if not because she's, you know, the fact that he was already interested, but the fact that he got denied and blocked. Yeah, men like that do not like to be, they don't like to have their prey taken from them. So I didn't know, listen, even if it wasn't this situation, I have no doubt that he would have probably tried to go back there at some point and go, you know, he's not going to let it go, is my point. I feel like there's no way, if he's still got time on the planet, he's going to try again. And I don't think he's going to be as fake pleasant as he was this time, right? He's probably just going to try to take what he wants. So point is, she's now somebody. She's someone that they've seen. She's someone that this guy's not going to forget. So even if she tries to disappear now, it's not going to work because he's probably going to feel like it's something shady, right? And if she tries to just leave, I can see them locking the planet down and basically punishing people till she pops up. So point is, I feel like she's going to have to try to get off planet. Now, at least Cassian, with him leaving, I think that this is why we see that Cassian finally was able to get off this planet. If he shows up there, he's at least got the space for one more, and he's probably just going to have to grab her. I feel like the boy's going to die. I don't know why. My gut's telling me he's either going to get captured or die. Particularly because they showed that scene with him with the girl, and she's saying, oh, if you got to go, at least say goodbye. And I'm like, if he tries to do that, it will get him caught. I have no doubt about that. Like, sorry, sis, if you're not understanding the gravity of this situation, you should know that him saying goodbye may not be an option. Like, he may have to just go when the opportunity comes, but he seems a bit lovesick, and beyond that, he also seems like he's not taking the level of danger seriously here. So I just feel like, yeah, I'll be surprised if he makes it. But anyway, yeah, I think the only way at this point is that Cassian's gonna have to grab Bix and leave, because that's the only way to make sure that those people, I mean, I still feel like we're going to lose some of those people. My gut's telling me it's not going to be a clean getaway, but, you know, God willing, it will be. And then, as I said, her only option is to get off planet now. But yeah, I think that one soldier, the Pervo, is going to be the one who's going to be the link to tipping off the Empire that Bix was there. And more importantly, if they see Cassian, that, you know, Cassian, well, they'll have at least the last point of where Cassian was. But speaking of that, we see with the other chick, the one who's working for the Empire there, who was put onto the Gorman assignment, you know, she's still not over her task, right? She still wants to get her hands on Cassian. And, you know, the dude in this episode had to remind her of the fact that all the 2 years of working and she still came up empty-handed. You know, that clearly is a stick in her craw. She's not happy about that at all. So she doesn't want the Gorman assignment, but the guy kind of let her know she's doing it. Like, if you were asked, it's one of those voluntold things. Like, yeah, you're not being asked, really. Like, they're just letting you know. They're trying to be nice and let you, give you the semblance of the belief that you have control here. But he's like, nah, like, if you've been asked, it's because you've been given the assignment. There is no to be said here. So yeah, but you can see, like, she's not done. Her heart is still in trying to find Cassian. So I think if she hears that tip off, she's definitely going to keep her ears out there. She's going to pull whatever resources she can, probably with her little lover boy there, to try to track Cassian. And, you know, this whole thing got very messy, right? Cassian's been under the radar for over a year now, and this is probably going to put him back on it. But anyway, so that's what's kind of going on there. But she's going to be going to Gorman regardless. And we heard that guy tell her, like, this is her opportunity to basically rise in the ranks again and show that she's a valuable asset to the Empire. And then potentially at that point, he's saying you can go back to the whole business with your operation and be able to go after Cassian again with more resources even, maybe. But anyway, so she's going to head there. But like I said, I think the way things are going, the way they're laying the groundwork, I feel like that Cassian's going to end up on Gorman anyway. So anyway, that's that. And then back at the wedding, the longest wedding, we see that Luthen is, you know, trying to play all the sides he can. His little aide decided to go back to Coruscant because she's like, I can't contact anyone I need to contact right now, and it's not safe to do it here. So since I'm kind of a nobody here, let me go. So she decided to go back, and we see that she's trying to find anything or listen for anything, see if she can get to Cassian, which Cassian should be able to contact her now that he's off planet. Actually, no, he may not be able to use that radio now that I think about it. But he grabbed one, didn't he? I think he did. I think we saw him grab a radio off that ship, the crash ship. but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, but yeah, so she's gone. Luthen's still there trying to manage the mother of the bride there, and she is dealing with the other dude. Their names should really, I know, guys. I'm so sorry about the names. There's a lot of names that have been thrown at us already this season. But anyway, Luthen kind of warns her that her boyfriend, as her husband would call it, he's very unhappy, right? He very much is letting her know that things have not been going well for him since he basically followed all the plans that she gave him last season. And he's noticing, he's like, everyone is benefiting. I'm the only one who's not. Like, my business is going under. My wife has left me. Like, life is not good for me right now. And it seems like you don't care. And you're here celebrating a 3-day lavish celebration for your daughter when I look like I might be broke soon. And that's not okay for me. So yeah, everything he's saying is letting us know that he's very unstable at the moment, and it's just going to take one little tip one way or the other to send him doing something crazy. And Luthen basically was warning her about that. He was like, that guy's been stalking you since he got here. It's very clear that he needs something from you and he needs it sooner than later. And she's trying to kind of poo-poo it away, but he's like, no, I don't think you're understanding where he's at. Like, we need to do something immediately. Like, you need to get on this. And she's acting like she's got it together, but I think you could tell she was shook in that conversation. She didn't realize how bad things had gotten for him, and she could feel it, right? Like, he made it very clear in his, his very passive banter that, he's not happy. It's really not happy. It's not been good for him, and it's looking a lot like she screwed him over, and he's not that pleased. The way he's like, I thought you would notice things were not good. I didn't think I'd have to tell you plainly what was wrong, because if we're friends, you should have been looking out for me, So she's dropping the ball is the point. She's not doing very well at this juggling act. And so, yeah, Luthen's been watching that dude pretty closely, and I feel like he's going to intervene because, yeah, she's still... I don't think it's a matter of her really just caring so much about the daughter's wedding. I just think she doesn't want to feel like she's losing control of the situation, but she clearly has. And so anyway, we'll have to see what goes on there. But I feel like Homie's already done something desperate, like gone to, what was his name? To Scullen? Is that what his name is? Either that or he's going to do something crazy at the wedding, because he's been drinking a lot too, right? So remember, her husband told her that he drank so much that he almost passed out last night, so we had to take him home. Somebody who's that discontented with a lot of alcohol in them is not a good combination. Point is, her tea could end up being spilled as well, which would be very bad. So yeah, Luthen's not happy about that, and he's going to have to do a little bit of his political wizardry, it looks like, to maintain things, because if he exposes the bride's mom, it's going to potentially trickle back to Luthen. And Luthen, we all know, is very desperate to keep his reputation intact, because it's absolutely vital for the rebellion to continue. So yeah, a lot going on that. There's more tea going on there, honestly, than with Cassian directly at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of how things are going at the moment. I'm kind of ready to see what's going to happen with this Gorman thing. I feel like that's where things are going to kick off. But yeah, as I said, the only thing that's kind of weird to me in this episode and the past one really, is that the lack of Cassian. But I think we've set enough groundwork now for all the things that are going to happen, I guess, for the rest of the season. Like, this is the last season of this show. So I feel like they're trying to get a lot of groundwork laid down for, of course, the rest of the season. But, this is a Star Wars universe, so I feel like they're also putting some seeds in there for some stuff that they got planned down the line. So yeah, I hope we get a little bit more of our lead character coming up here. And he's in the thumb for the next one, so I feel like we're about to get that. But yeah, it was another interesting episode. I did enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.